We good now? We live? I think you could maybe see us but not hear us. Hopefully now you can hear us. And that's a shame because I don't think we've ever been as charming or funny as we were for the last 5 or 6 minutes.
We're usually pretty charming
we
and pretty funny.
We stepped it up, though. I mean,
brought our A game. Although
it was good.
As I was saying when people couldn't hear, I am a little draggy this morning.
Hey.
And you aren't as draggy as me, but you identified with feeling draggy from time to time.
Occasionally, yeah, I do. Occasionally.
Long weekend, we didn't sleep a lot. The boys kept us up late Friday night with the ball game down in West Plains.
Yep.
Had a long, Saturday night. We had some stuff we did up here at the church, and then had to get up and preach. And then we had 6 a.m. elders meeting this morning.
Makes for a long week.
I could use a good nap. I might fall asleep while you talk. Is that okay?
Fair enough. I'll wake you up when it's your time, okay?
All right. I'll just kind of rest my head right now.
We got some prayer concerns to share with you this morning. And again, we do appreciate you jumping in with us and faithfully praying for these folks. I would ask you to be praying.
I snored a little bit. Could you hear it?
I could hear you. Hear you.
Well, you talked us up that we were up in our A game with the comedy and the charm, so I had to try something.
We were. Gage and Hedrick, pray for him. I know you have been praying for him. That family covets your prayers. Just pray that he has a good week. Pray that he has an appetite, that he actually starts eating, maybe gaining some weight and some strength. Pray for Bob Johnston.
He did start eating this last week. What the notes said Sunday that I announced. It was really nice to have some good news
to announce
on the Gage front.
Absolutely. Bob Johnston, longtime pastor over at First Baptist down the road here. He is in a rehabilitation hospital up in Columbia, receiving dialysis and is off and on a ventilator, so he could continue to use your prayers. Lou Moss, as he continues to recover from that hip surgery, he is in Rolla now at a rehab center. Be praying for him if you would. And then also Dr. Dan Brown, recovering from a recent surgery and awaiting some more test results. Could just use your prayers, Dan and that whole family. And then I just want to update you on Patrick Sedlacek. That is Jen Middleton's dad. You prayed for him, and Jen texted me yesterday, said that her dad and they were just thrilled that the church was lifting them up in prayers. He did have his surgery. It went well. They believe that they got all the cancers, that the margins are clean, so that is a huge praise. Awesome. But continue to pray that is the case for him. Beth Perona's dad, you've prayed some for him. He's dealt with some health issues and coronavirus and stuff. He is home in Rolla now and has been placed on hospice care. She said in the email that she doesn't think that it's real imminent, but just pray for that family as he's now in hospice care. Then I'd ask you to pray for Jim Mitchell. That is Lindsay Wilson's uncle. They think that he had a stroke last week, and he is out in Phelps Health receiving treatment for that. Then Sherry Wilson, I would ask you to be praying for her. She's been dealing with some health-related issues with her cancer and stuff. She actually had to go to the hospital over the weekend in St. Louis, some scary stuff. Was supposed to have surgery last Friday, I believe it was. She did. I talked to Sam yesterday. She was able to go home, and they're hoping that surgery will happen maybe tomorrow. And so just pray that could happen and that will go well. Then finally, and I'll turn it over to Chris, I would ask you to be praying for my mom, Jane Cook. She has an upcoming hip surgery in the next couple weeks, and I would ask that you pray that that goes well and addresses some of the pain that she's been dealing with over the past year or so. So, Chris, you got something to share with us?
Do you think that your mom's hip problems are from carrying your dad for so long through his life?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. He's a heavy burden to carry for Jane Cook. So
it's just kind of odd to see her on the prayer list and not your dad.
Yeah.
Usually
what's up with
it's
that?
your dad
Dad's
that
the one that breaks himself all the time.
Gets hurt.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that your mom ever got hurt. I always thought it was your dad.
Motorcycle accidents and falling down
rivers.
down
a crevasse at Yellowstone or wherever it was.
Yep.
Was it a Yellowstone?
Yeah, it was at the Yellowstone River. They were getting ready to go into Yellowstone. So
he has been a little injury prone.
He has.
Yeah, I've got several things to bring up. I saw Tom Smith. I thought maybe tuned in. His wife Debbie. They're just the coolest people in the world.
And pickleball fans, which there's some value in that, Chris.
Yeah, whatever.
I know that you haven't jumped on board, but
I think it's cool looking. I see them playing at the center when I go around the track and stuff.
It's fun.
I just describe it as adult ping pong. like a bigger ping pong.
I'll take
game.
it. Ping pong's fun too.
It looks pretty cool. I'll give you that one.
fun.
But Tom and Debbie, they do like pickleball. Super sweet people. Debbie, it's probably been a couple years since she first had a cancer diagnosis, been treating. She's having some scans this week, and we just want you to be praying for her. I hope she's doing okay. Also, I would ask you to pray for Michael Roberts. He's been on our cancer list. As I said yesterday, he had to be intubated. He's in the ICU out here at Phelps Health. Very, very severe case of pneumonia. Also pray for Jackie and Walter Cole and a little boy they have named Holden. They have been in process of adopting Holden. He's 4 years old, and he had not been feeling well. They took him up to Children's, did some tests, found out he had a tumor, ran a biopsy on it, found out it was cancerous. They have not given them a name for the type of cancer that it is yet that I've seen. But if you happen to be friends with Jackie Cole on Facebook, she's been doing a pretty good job of updating people pretty lengthily.
Reach out and let them know you're praying for them. They can definitely use some encouragement.
Maybe even try to friend request her on Facebook and give her a little message, tell her you're from church and just wanted to be able to be praying and keep the updates coming. Also, some good news. Heather Romine, I saw, was tuning in last week. She had to go in for some biopsies. They found a little bit of a mass. She'd been recovering from a breast cancer surgery, and they found out that it was just scar tissue. It was not anything new. So that was great news.
They also had some other good news in the Romine family. I saw yesterday on Facebook that her husband just got his first Blackstone and is introduced into the world of delicious grilling, Blackstones. Justin Renaud over there is shaking his fist vigorously. It's a great club to be in, isn't it, Renaud? It is. So,
I know what that is, but I've never used one.
It's a flat top grill, and it makes delicious food.
My regular grill makes pretty good food.
It does. This opens up the possibility for what you can make.
Okay. I lost my place here.
Hey, I apologize.
That's okay. Baby Cade, again, Lane and Cassie's little boy. I know some people get confused when we say Baby Cade.
Yeah.
CJ.
It is confusing.
CJ.
His nickname is Cade, but.
Yeah, that Cade's the nickname.
Yeah.
CJ, Jeremy and Charlotte's grandson, still up at NICU. Pray that he continues to improve.
Jeremy was a little hurt yesterday that you just talked about Grandma Charlie, but not Grandpa Jeremy.
Well, I just did that in one service, I think, on the online, because I knew she was watching, and that's where we call her Grandma Charlie. It really has more to do with teasing Charlotte than
Charlotte,
it does
what is
leaving Jeremy out.
What is Grandpa Jeremy's nickname? Put that down in the comments
how about
if you would.
Grandpa Jeremy?
Grandpa Jeremy?
Yeah,
I'm not sure that he wants that nickname.
And then, but be praying for baby Cade. Hopefully he'll get to come home soon. I do know that they get to hold him and hug him and all that stuff, but he still is not able to come home. And then also, I meant to mention this yesterday, and I forgot to. Some people in the community and the church may have already heard this news. Our middle school did lose a student this last week, a fifth grader, and so just be praying for that family. One of the counselors at the middle school goes to our church, Jarena, and so just be praying for our counselors and our teachers that are with this family, and also talking to other kids, as they try to process that. Just be praying for that situation. Also, Josh Terranova, who is not at the middle school but at the junior high. He's one of the coaches, a teacher there who attends here. He had surgery on Friday on both of his legs. He was demonstrating something to the kids in track practice and took a spill, ruptured the quad in one leg and ruptured his patella tendon in the other. He's having to have surgery on both of those. Well, he's already had surgery, but it's going to be a lot of rehab for him. Just pray for his healing. Also, pray for Haley Story. That's Terrell and Tamara's daughter. She has surgery coming up on March 25th at Mayo to remove a brain tumor. After that, they will determine pathology and decide the next course of treatment. Also, if it helps you know who some of these people are, Haley's dad, Terrell, led the, what was the name of the song again? We were talking about it before.
Waymaker, yeah.
Waymaker.
It was awesome.
And it was incredible.
Yeah.
Especially in that second.
He's the guy with the majestic beard on stage.
Second service yesterday, we had 303 people.
Yeah, that's great.
Which is
awesome.
the biggest crowd we've had since COVID.
Yep.
And it was just, there was a lot of energy. You could really feel I felt the spirit in the room, and I thought Terrell did an amazing job leading that song. But go watch that. That might help you connect who that family is. But be praying for them. And then also, I announced yesterday, but in case people missed it, Don Riddle's funeral services, there will be a visitation at 1 o'clock and a service at 2 on Saturday, March the 20th. And that'll be here at the church, Saturday, March the 20th. Just be praying for that family, if you would. Did you do the ones on this?
I've got a couple more to share.
Okay, why don't you do a couple,
okay.
then I'll come back
All right.
and finish the ones
So
on this
just
page.
a couple more from me. I'd ask you to be praying for my Aunt Debbie, Debbie Cook. She had an appointment this past week. She's been dealing with severe back pain for some time. She said they really didn't give her any answers, but she got a lot of good information, a lot of knowledge. And so she has been referred to another appointment coming up to see what they can do to kind of help her back pain. So continue to lift her up in your prayers if you would.
Do you think her back pain is from carrying Tim around
Tim
all
and
these years?
Tim and Jay Cook are heavy loads to carry for ladies, so probably. And then finally, my last one is Dane Crutcher's dad. You've been praying for him. He's been dealing with some health issues and stuff. Dane, I talked to him yesterday after the first service, and he seemed to be saying that his dad is doing really well, starting to eat on his own and stuff, just perking up a little bit, encouraged with where he's at, and the community that he's found there and stuff. And so I was just thrilled to hear Dane say that his dad was doing well. So you want to finish us off, Chris?
Okay. We also had a request. Sally Tennyson has a neighbor. It's a good friend of hers named Linda Hilgers, who recently was diagnosed with cancer. Asked if we'd be praying for her. And I forgot to mention that one. And then also kind of a card announcement. Last week we asked people to send Daryl Butcher cards, and 208 cards. That was awesome. I sent him a card. Did you send him a card?
I did.
Nice.
I did.
So think, if we hadn't have been here, he would have only gotten 206 cards.
I know.
What a disappointing birthday that would have been.
Just the 8 that put it over the top.
But I mentioned yesterday, Miss Elva yesterday celebrated her 102nd birthday. She's over at 1205 Wellington, and hopefully maybe some people will send her cards. Just tell her a happy belated birthday. Also happened to be one Jana Cook's birthday yesterday, right?
It was.
And Joe Campbell. I saw it was her birthday yesterday, too. So March 7th, a popular day.
It is.
People following Miss Elva's lead.
There you go.
But I have one other thing that's coming up, card-wise, that I would ask people maybe to consider sending. Gail and Wanda Lucian will be celebrating a 50th anniversary coming up soon.
It's a big one.
They're great.
Yep.
I like Gail and Wanda. How
They're
about
awesome.
you?
They're awesome. I love them.
They are about as good as
I
it
used
gets.
to eat at La Posada with them when it was still open a lot when we first moved to Rolla.
Man, that's a few restaurants ago. La Posada.
It's been a few minutes.
But April the 2nd is their 50th wedding anniversary, so it's not a rush, but we just want to kind of start getting the word out there. Carrie, their daughter, asked us to introduce it. And so they live at 1504 Liberty Drive in Rolla. And we want to just tell them happy anniversary, happy 50th. We had that request. And you and I, one of the things I like about this Monday morning time is it gives us a chance to kind of make some of those announcements and spend a little more time talking about them.
Yeah.
And getting people, letting them know when those kind of special days come up. And so we're happy to kind of honor that and do a 50th anniversary thing for them. I think 50 years is awesome, and we celebrate that. A couple church announcements, just things to be praying for ministry-wise. I know you got one to talk about, but I will mention just some things I said yesterday. Our Easter services, again, we're just guessing here, but Justin and I both think that we'll have a little bit bigger crowd on Easter than we've been having. That's always the case with COVID. You never know. But I think some people are going to be back. We will have 4 services. We'll have a traditional sunrise service at 6:30. Big Ben Harris, the Bronco himself, is going to preach, and that'll be great. And then at 8, 9:30, and 11, we'll have identical services, more contemporary services. And as I said yesterday, we just are guessing, but if spacing is important to you during COVID, I would recommend you go to either the 8 o'clock or the 6:30 sunrise service.
Should have more space to spread
There
out in those
should
two.
be. I would guess those crowds will be a little less. We're going to do childcare at 9:30 and 11 on Easter. My guess is the 9:30 will be the biggest. Wouldn't you think?
Probably.
It historically has been.
Yeah, probably.
But we, again, I offer the caveat, we don't know the future, but
Yeah.
our educated guess, based on what we've seen in years past, we just want to respect and give a heads up to those that might feel comfortable if there's a little bit more room to spread out. And then also yesterday, we had several people pick up some cards. And if you have missed this, just thinking about this, you know, where we're at as a church right now is people are starting to come back. I think our attendance was 730, 740 yesterday. On January 1st, it was 400. So we've come close to doubling our attendance since the beginning of the year. People are starting to come back, getting vaccinated, you know, feeling more, you know, cases are down. We're not quite, you know, where we were pre-COVID when we ran about 1,200. But there's some buzz, there's some energy. The kids line at the 9:15 service was really long. And part of that is we still have to keep them in the gym because we don't have enough volunteers to put 2 volunteers in every single classroom. And so we need more volunteers at 9:15. We need to get some volunteers going at 10:45 so that we can have childcare at both services, and that'll spread out the crowd some too. We were probably 180 to 200 kids, 5th grade and under, pre-COVID. We were back up to about 120 yesterday.
Yep, it's awesome.
So we're really starting to see that build back up, and we need to staff it. We need to step up as a church and do what we can do. You, me, Megan are going to be calling people this week that filled out these cards. There's different ways you can volunteer. It doesn't, you could be one of the teachers, you could be a helper, help with the check-in desk. There's lots of different places to help out. You know, please contact us. Let us know if that's something you'd be interested in doing. We need to kind of get that children's ministry beefed up and up and running if we're going to get back and offering, you know, the ministry to our kids that we need to be doing.
Yep, super important. And then finally, I would just ask you to be praying for us as we are currently doing the search for a new worship minister. That process is underway, and I would just ask you to be praying for wisdom.
Did you get my resume?
Raise up the right person, which is not Chris Foster. That is not what we need at this time.
I even had a recording of me singing.
Yeah, and I'll never be the same again, Chris. I want to thank you for that. But
that's actually a song. I will never be the same again.
That's why we're not hiring you as the worship guy. Okay,
you weren't just moved by that little song I sang?
I wasn't at all. But that process is underway, and so the elders and the leadership is searching. Again, just pray for God's guidance in finding the right guy to fit in here at Green Tree Christian Church. So I believe that is all that we have for this morning, prayer-wise. Is that right?
I think so. Again, you know, Justin does a really good job. People that use the app and send in prayer requests, those go to you, right?
Yep, I get them.
And I get forwards from him all the time. So I know he does a great job going through those. If you've got stuff, you know, send it to us. Let us know.
Reach out.
I commend so many of you who have done such a good job tuning in, especially in the last year of COVID, to these prayer times and on Sunday morning, and have been responsive and connecting with people and letting them know you care about them. It has been a real blessing to me to be able to see you all reach out to one another and be the church to one another. So I thank you for that, and just continue to do that, please.
Yep. All right, let's close in prayer. Heavenly Father, we just come before you today, and we can't thank you enough for this day, for this gift that you give us called life, Father. We recognize the fact that you are the giver, you're the sustainer of life, that we depend upon you for every moment of every day. And so we just pause and recognize that in this moment as we start this new week. Father, there are so much need in our community and in our world. It's easy for us as very finite, very limited people to get overwhelmed by all of the need. But Father, we take comfort knowing that you're a God who's bigger than any need that we have, any need that this world has. And so we just trust these people, these situations into your hand right now, Father, that you will be there, Father, in the midst of whatever these people are dealing with, whatever these families are dealing with, that you remind them, Father, that you are a good God who loves us very much and is in charge. Father, I just pray your blessing upon us as we start this week, that you'll help us to go out and to really seek to make a difference in this world because Jesus has made a huge difference in our lives. It's in his name we pray these things. Amen.